Well, hello everyone, welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Story Mode. Tell me, are you ready for another fun little detour today? Darn right you are, and so is Durmin. So, this is going to be fun. As I said, we are embarking on the second of our post-Heavensward detours, the Shadow of Mach. It's got everything. It's got sky pirates, it's got minor connections to the main story, kind of, but not really. It's got so many Final Fantasy. You know what? Why spoil the surprise? We'll get to that later. Also, since we're starting up a new raid today, I thought it was a great occasion to get back into my very good little outfit here. We'll probably change up the fashion in a little bit, but for now, this is a good start. And you are a good start. Unquiet Trader, tell me your problems. The Unquiet Trader seems to be scanning the skies in silent desperation. You have the look of a lad who's seen his fair share of trouble. That's true. Mayhap you'd be willing to help me with mine. I need a capable sort to head into the Sea of Clouds and track down my missing airship. I had to mortgage my soul to get that vessel built, so winning the contract to ferry supplies out to Cloudtop was really a weight off my mind. But it seems my luck ended there. My ship was due back in Ishgard bells ago. I've been praying for a glimpse of her sails ever since. I can't help fearing the worst. What if she's run afoul of sky pirates? My creditors will have their pounds of flesh. You think me foolish to fear piracy so far above the waves? Well, let me tell you that no honest merchant is safe now that airship production has, if you'll excuse the pun, taken off. Any scoundrel with a sack of coin and a vague sense of direction can terrorize the skies. Oh yes, this new breed of buccaneers like to paint themselves as dashing explorers braving the unknown, but the truth of their nature is right there in the name, sky pirates. Given half a chance, they'll strip your ship of every last scrap of cargo and cry yahahar as they launch you screaming over the rails. I've heard the stories. Please, you must make haste to Camp Cloudtop, that's where the shipment was bound, and inquire as to the fate of my poor ship. Oh, and my poor helmsman. Ask Rontremont, he'll know, if any man does. You know what? I'll go look into it. I have nothing else going on. And you know what? Let's get there in style. Thank goodness. Clear skies. It would be so sad having to start off the Sky Pirate raid with clouds and darkness. Can't have it. Welcome back to Camp Cloudtop, everyone. Let's talk to Rontremont. A supply airship's gone missing, you say? Well, that certainly would explain why our provisions are so late in arriving. I did in fact spy a vessel charting an erratic course northwards a short while ago, but as it seemed disinclined to make port here, I paid it little mind. Not the most compelling piece of evidence, I grant you, but I have witnessed naught else of interest. I suggest you investigate the land mass to the north. Rest assured, I will send word if I spy any other sign of our errant supply ship. Well, that's a lead. Better than nothing. Come on, Quay friend. We fly! So, as you've probably begun to notice, the raid stories in Final Fantasy XIV fall loosely into a couple of categories. Some of the raids in this game very clearly take their inspiration from a specific Square Enix property, like the Crystal Tower, which is basically a bunch of Final Fantasy III references all in a big pile, with a Catboy thrown in as a bonus. But not all the raids are like that. Lots of them are just original stories that also include a variety of classic Final Fantasy iconography. The Alexander raids we just did were like that, and that is also the category that the Shadow of Mach falls into. That said, there are a lot of classic Final Fantasy references in this raid. I invite you to see how many of them you can spot. Some are much more subtle than others. Anyway, oh, there's a sky pirate right here. I've solved the sky piracy mystery in that there are sky pirates. Ha! We'll make some good coin from this haul, and then we'll see if this fool's worth the ransom. Well, fool, are you worth the ransom? Aid! Aid, I say! These villains mean to plunder my cargo! What do we got here, then? Think you're some sort of hero, do you? I mean, a little bit. Come on. Have you not heard of me? I've done so many things. Well, then you won't mind if me mates here join the fun. Make for a more heroic tale, won't it? The tale of how 3 sky pirates fed a meddling little shite his own bloody eyes? What the? Oh gods, I know that ship. It's... So, you're the Scrags would have been dragging our good name through the mud. You're Red Bill Leofard. Leofard? Leofard? Well, I don't know. We'll go with that one. We ain't done naught to you or yours. What do you want with us? I think I made my position pretty clear. You take on the mantle of Sky Pirate, you agree to a certain code of conduct. And codes ain't worth much if folk go around breaking them. Frankly, lads, you're making us look bad. We can't have that. No hard feelings, though, huh? Oh, thank you, Mr. Leofard. Thank you. I'm certain my master will wish to repay you. If your employer does business in Ishgard, he likely knows a merchant or two what trades with me associates. Tell him to say it's for Leofard, and any reward would reach me. Any reward should reach me soon enough. As for you, adventurer, 'tain't often someone beats me to the scene, but then I'd expect naught less from a hero such as yourself, Durmin. That is who you are, ain't it? I don't know too many other folk with one of them marvelous mana cutters the Ironworks dreamed up. Oh right, I do have that thing. Well then, seems you saved me the trouble of tracking you down. I've been hoping to have a word with you see. I'll put it to you straight. I need someone to help me out with a little venture I have in mind. Someone used to taking a few risks. Now, this shouldn't be no black-hearted brigand's work, or wouldn't be. Goodness, reading's not going great, so don't go worrying yourself on that account. Unlike them thieving curs just now, I don't hold with robbing honest folk. For me, you see, the Sky Pirate's life's all about freedom. The freedom to go where you will, to find out what lies beyond the next cloud. If you're interested in joining us on an adventure worthy of the name, then look for me standard in the northern reaches of the Blue Window. Someone will be waiting there to greet you. Goodness, an invitation. You know, maybe I should be using the mana cutter for the length of this series. Sit tight, everyone. There we are. Back in our ship. One of our other many good mounts. Okay, let's go to... Where the heck is this place? Way up in the northwest in a corner we've not even touched yet. All right, let's go to another island. Ah, look at our little fellow. He's born for this. And I do like how certain mounts will, like, transform if from, like, ground mode to flight mode. It's a fun little detail. Anyway, here we go. Hello. I have an invite. That's far enough, stranger. If you value your life, tell me true. Did you stumble across this marker by chance, or are you here by invitation? Invitation. Then that would make you the hero the captain said to watch out for. Well met. The name's Stasia. Leofard would call me his right-hand woman, but I feel more like his bloody nursemaid gods, truth be told. Anyway, my thanks to you for coming to hear him out. If you'd follow me, I'll take you to the Red Bill's nest. I like it. Yeah, really fun design. I come to you in person and still you refuse my offer? Arrogant fool. Who is this? Maybe it's pronounced Lefford, kind of like Leonard. Lefford? It is easier to say than Leofard. Lefford? I don't know, man. I would ask y'all's opinion, but by the time this comes out, I will have recorded all this, so guess I gotta pick one. On the subject of arrogance, Rodlia, I bow to your superior knowledge, but that's all the bowing you'll get from me. As I told you a dozen times before, I ain't no one's lackey. But, my dear Lefford, how else do you propose to survive an expedition into the ghost ship? I would fear for my life with naught but your feeble crewmates at my back. While I'd fear for me life with your mangy crew at my back, on account of them being murderous, untrustworthy bastards to a man. I thought you cleverer than this, Red Bill. But no matter. I always get what I want in the end. 'Tis merely a question of method. Now there's a face I've not seen before. You don't have the look of one of Leiford's little birds. He's a guest. You understand the concept, don't you? You know when someone's invited, instead of just bursting through the door whenever she damn well pleases? That was Radlia, captain of the Talons. She knows Leoford's the best sky pirate alive, and the fact he won't join her sticks in her craw. Are you gonna let him talk to you like that, Captain? We should teach them Red Bill some respect. Patience. When all of this is over, we shall see who rules the skies. Oh there, hero. I promised you high adventure, and high adventure you shall have, for we plan to board the Sea of Cloud's very own ghost ship. Or what folk have taken to calling one, anyway. Every day for the past few weeks has brought with it a new sighting of the self-same vessel, a massive airship of queer design, adrift on the wind. Being a curious lot, there were a few buccaneers who tried exploring below decks, but not one of them's been seen since. And so, naturally, they're saying the ship is cursed. Well, haunted. Like I said, an honest-to-God's ghost ship. My guess is she's another relic left behind by the Alligans, but we won't know for sure till we've had ourselves a good poke around inside. And liberated whatever ancient treasures she's got molding away in her hold, of course. But before we start dividing up the spoils, we gotta find the damn thing, which is why we've been working on a special new device. Bah, finding her'll be the easy part. What we can't do without is a veteran explorer what ain't afraid to fling himself face first into the jaws of danger. Now I know you're a gallant champion of the people and all, but strip away the fame and the glory, I'll wager you're still an adventurer at heart. So, what say you, Durmin? Fancy a plunge into the unknown at the side of the Red Bills? Then it's settled. Let's pay a visit to our crewmate, Utada. She's been working on a way to track the vessel. I'm in. Sounds fun. Here we are. Oh, we're back. Fine, I wanted to explore the cool island, but fine. Might be as there are better engineers in the realm, but I'd wager none are as inventive as our Utada. She earns her keep with her brains, not her brawn, and we're a stronger crew for it. This here's Utada, the lass I was telling you about. She's our engineer and a damn good one at that. I always get this little thrill in me chest when I'm about to embark on a new adventure. And once you felt your heart dance like that, there's naught you wouldn't do to feel it again. Greetings, the name's Utada. I suppose you'd call me the Red Bill's Chief of Engineering. Smithing, carpentry, magitech. If it's part of an airship, I can fix it. Just don't expect to see me waving a cutlass and swinging over the rails. If there's fighting to be done, well, that's what we have you for. That's fair. So, Utada seems eager to share her findings on the ghost ship. Well met, ladies and gentle pirates. Now that we appear to have our hero, I'm happy to report that we've overcome the last obstacle to boarding the ghost ship. Meaning your project's proceeding as planned? That it is, Captain. I knew this would be the perfect place to take readings. The scant amount of background ether make it easy to follow the derelict's trail. The ghost ship has what Utada tells us is a unique etheric signature. She's been building a device what can sniff out this particular spectral flavor and point us in the right direction. I call it the ectocompass. It's allowed me to collect some solid data on the vessel's movements and plot a reliable intercept course. No groping blindly through the clouds for us. All the ships are loaded and ready to fly. Just say the word, Captain. Utada, you'd best stay here out of harm's way. Keep an eye on them ether trails, huh? Aye, Captain. Grab an armload of treasure for me. Now, we got no way of knowing what's waiting for us on that cursed hulk, Durmin, so you best bring along a few mates what you know you can trust. Don't hurt to be too careful, seeing as how you'll be going in first and all. I did tell you you'd be going in first, didn't I? Well, you will. The rest of us will be guarding the rear, just in case Radlia and her brood decide to stick their beaks in where they ain't wanted. Don't worry, she'll not get past us, so you can concentrate on carving a path into the ship's belly. An honest-to-God's ghost ship. This is gonna be an adventure and a half. I too am excited. A sky ghost ship. Sounds fun. And there's the first wing unlocked. So let me find someplace to sit to explain what's gonna happen. Sure, this'll do. Here we are. So, the Void Ark raid series is structured pretty similarly to the Crystal Tower raid series, if you remember that one. There are 3 big wings, 3 different big chunks of it with several boss fights in each, and we will be going into each one of those with a group of 24, 3 full parties of 8. And in between each of those, there'll be a bunch of story bits. It's going to be a bit chaotic, but very fun. I've done some research, so hopefully I'll be able to call everything out. And once again, we will be running this normally. We're not turning off level scaling, so there may be deaths, most likely me, but we'll get through it. We got a capable bunch. Speaking of which, they are all probably waiting for me somewhere, so let's go find our group. And here, once again, is our very enormous squad. All coordinated and ready to carry me through 3 different wings of this here raid. And I'm so grateful. Very coordinated, I must say. Huge thanks once again to Eos Fuyu for organizing all this and scheduling all of it, and to everyone for making time to join us today. I think this is going to be grand. But all right, I think we're ready to begin here and now, so let's get ourselves ready to go into the Void Ark. In an age when the miracle of the airship has become commonplace, the heavens have seen the rise of a new breed of fortune hunter, the Sky Pirate. These airborne buccaneers sail the endless sea of clouds in search of hidden lands to explore and forgotten treasures to plunder. At the behest of one such band of Sky Pirates, you have joined an expedition set on boarding the ominous ghost ship of recent rumor. Will you return triumphant with Leoford and his Red Bills, arms laden with the spoils of some ancient trove? Or will you fall to the perils of the haunted vessel, as has every would-be looter before you? I'm sure we're gonna be fine. Let's get in there and go! Welcome to the Void Ark. The first of 3 wings in the Mach raid series, and the easiest of the 3, by far. The increase in difficulty from Wing 1 to Wing 2 is kind of wild, but this will be a good warm-up. And here's our good crew ready to go. Here is the good crew by name, or at least in my party. I guess this isn't really going to work that way, is it? Well, you all know who you are. Thank you very much for joining. It is 24 of you per group. Now let's see if I can remember how to machinist. Usually it's not ideal to go into just a series of raids as your practice for a new job. But I will try to make do. So to start with, we mostly just have a handful of just trash enemies, nothing too scary, no mechanics to them. But that big manta ray thing is looming. And I think pretty soon we're going to have a run-in. Woo! I have not done this raid series in so long. I've prepped on mechanics, I've studied up a little bit. So hopefully, like the Alexander raids, there will be minimal deaths, even though it is a lot easier to die, I think, in some of these. But as for like the story and the things that actually happen outside of fights, I don't remember much. So this will be fun. Ah, more enemies. Yeah. How's this thing still holding together? All right, I think it's time for boss number 1. Cetus. The big manta ray thing. Get psyched, everyone. It occurs to me. Every single time we go into some big fight like this, I always say, get psyched, everyone, and I do my little psych emote, but I'm so small. I don't think it is ever visible, ever. So not too many mechanics we need to watch out for with this big guy. There will be some body slams that you don't want to be standing under. And sometimes they'll follow up with some other little mechanics you need to watch out for. Here and there. Like these blue bubbles. You don't want to be standing near the blue bubbles because they're going to drop a puddle that debuffs you and is not fun. And we're here to have fun. All right, now I think our little guy here is going to call in some friends who are going to attack us. Oh, I think we're just skipping a bunch of stuff because we're doing too good. Nope, big guy's going to leave the field for a moment, and we're going to deal with all these little ads over here, which is fine. But someone's been marked with this green target here, and they're about to get just carpet bombed by the boss. Just getting chased by these big AoEs that we all want to stand clear of, and they're doing a good job of standing well clear of us so that we don't all get hit by the big darn thing. But now it's going to body slam again, and do probably some follow-up. Yep, we want to get in close this time. We're doing pretty good, though. 2/3 done. And it's flying away again? What is it doing? Oh, it's booting some of us out and trapping the others inside. And there's a bunch of ads inside and out that we need to destroy so they'll be free. Let's get to work. There's the outside ones. Nope, nope, one more. There we go. And the inside one's down. Good job, team. One more body slam. And I don't know what they're following this one up with. Oh, it's this again. That's not good for my current positioning. That's fine. Didn't hurt too bad. Kill the thing. Oop, stay closer. And it is down. First big boss of the Void Ark complete. 3 remain, with some miscellaneous trash enemies in between. Although this particular group of trash does have a little bit of an interesting mechanic to it. There are just lots of random enemies. I guess it's not that interesting. There are some particular enemies we do want to take out fastest, as they will cause the room to be filled with poison, which is not helpful to any of us. So we need to keep an eye out for pagan knots, I think is what they're called. Oop, there's one, but it's over there. We'll work our way around. There's one just closer in. Let's take it out, quick. Drill it. Yes. Also, there'll be Morbles, which you don't want to stand in front of because they do have that classic Final Fantasy bad breath attack, which is probably not as bad as it is getting hit in a single-player Final Fantasy game. Still not great. And there's our poison gas happening. And I could have sworn I turned off all the super loud visuals for everybody else in the party. Still seeming pretty chaotically noisy in here, though. I'll check for that between wings of the raid, just to make sure I didn't accidentally turn something back on that I shouldn't have. Just so things aren't too chaotic for all y'all, visually. As soon as you get into a raid with 23 other people, and have all of their big flashy abilities going, it gets very visually loud. Ready for the next boss. Which also isn't too hard, but there is one insta-kill mechanic in here that we do need to watch out for. And it's fairly easy to spot, but you do have to pay attention. Apologies once again to my crew here for how badly I'm damaging the enemy. My damage output is not great, but my talking output is remaining consistent, which is a win of sorts. So we've got Erminsel here, this little central pillar thing, and also another little boss enemy attached to it called Sawtooth. It's not close enough to target yet, but we'll need to take both out. There you are. I'm going to focus target them so that even when I'm not targeting them, I can still see their health and what they're doing, which is a helpful mechanic I've not really been taking advantage of until now, because it reveals to me, like, their cast bar when they're about to do a scary move. Lots easier to pay attention that way. So, we got 2 targets here, and the tank is going to drag Sawtooth further away from Erminsel. I forget why, but it's a good thing in general to do. These 2 enemies are going to alternate between being vulnerable to ranged attacks and being vulnerable to magic attacks. If you're a melee fighter, that doesn't matter at all, and it's fine. But if you're a ranged fighter, like I am, that means that only one of them is going to be vulnerable at a time. That's no good. These folks have been hit with a goo that has tethered them together, and they can't move until some of us run in between the tethers to break them, which is one of my favorite little mechanics in this whole raid series. That's just such a fun... That's a fun little gimmick. I like that a lot. This one's resistant to magic, so I can keep attacking this one. As soon as I start doing 0 damage to it, though, I should probably switch to the other. Keep hitting this one. And actually using your moves. I don't know what that was, but I'm nervous about it. Oh, no. What's happening? Is it just sharing health between the 2? Shockwave Stomp. I think this is the one that I need to run from. Yep. This is the one that'll insta-kill you if you don't hide behind the shield the other one's putting up. And... safe. So that's the only really scary thing. The rest is manageable. But now this one's immune to ranged attack, so I gotta attack the central pillar here. Also the ads would probably be good to hit. Oh, they're dead already. Well, good. Just as I planned. You also don't want to get grabbed by those. Sawtooth will occasionally put out these really scary looking danger puddles and then try to bite you from the ground. And if they do manage to bite you, or an ad, they become stronger. So you want to kill those ads fast. And free them from the tethers. Free them from the tethers. There we go. Darn, the mechanic's good. Okay, I need to be back on Sawtooth now. I've almost got him down. Now I'm mucus and I can't do things. My friend and I, Macho Nachos, are so stuck. Thank you. There's one. Oh, they're both down. Good job, team. Handling this very well. I love the pinks and purples in this particular raid. With like these coffins everywhere. It's very visually cool. Great set piece rooms. Ooh, hello there. There's a familiar face for some. Meddling mortals, arise and taste vengeance, my ravenous kindred. That was Diabolos. For you Final Fantasy VIII fans out there. And now for some random enemies to fight. We won't be seeing Diabolos for a bit. It is looking very visually noisy right now. I feel like there's still too many spell effects on screen. I'll see what I can do about it. It may be that that's just what it's like being in a raid with 23 other people. Because you can set it to where you see everyone's spell effects. You can set it to where you see some, like the more important ones that you need to potentially be aware of, like healing bubbles that your healers put up. Or you can set it to where you see none. Which is clearer on screen, but then you do kind of want to know where the heal bubble is. Pink. You don't get to see pink and purple Doom all that often. I like it. Is this our next boss? Are we in the arena? I think we might be. And if we are, who's ready for another reference? Kuhulen! Or something approximating that. Ah, the delectable aroma of terror. Long has it been since last I feasted, is what they said. Look out for that bile. Now, I know you Final Fantasy Tactics fans do not get thrown a bone very often. Trust me, I'm there with you. So enjoy this. Also, I tried with the pronunciation. Some of the PlayFriends gave me some tips on how to handle some of the Gaelic name pronunciations, because I forgot how many Gaelic name pronunciations there are in the in the mock series. Look out for the tentacles, those are about to thwap down and hurt a lot. So the PlayFriends tried to prepare me for some of the names, and I gave it my best shot. Kuhulen. Or something similar. Oop. I don't like there being ads in here. Not comfortable with that. Still one more. Got it. You also don't want to stand in front of the boss because that big bile spew hurts quite a lot the longer you're in it. And is also gross. Void Pact. My minions shall infest your world. And here they come. Fubars. Final Fantasy XII fans will remember that Kuhulen also makes an appearance in that game, and Fubars also accompany it. I tried to come prepared also knowing what the big references were with the bosses, but I'm confident I'm going to forget one of the two of those as well, so see if you can spot more than I am bringing up. Oop, more foo bars. Eeh, no, that's 2 puddles. Don't want to be in either one. I gorge upon fear and spew it forth as bile. All shall be tainted with pestilence. Don't be gross. Let's burn this thing down. Almost gotcha, and you're done. No, this cannot be. I am endless as the stars. One boss remains for this wing. And here we are, prepared to face off with Echidna, who, despite being the final boss of this little set, is actually probably the easiest, I think, mechanics-wise, to deal with. I love that they write new music for all the raids. It's so fun. Our party leaders are marking up where the adds should get pulled to when this boss splits into 3 later. The 3 component parts that we saw at the beginning there in the cutscene. If they are kept close together, they get a huge defense buff, which makes them way harder to kill. What was that text? You would intrude upon the Queen's very bedchamber. Only agonizing death can cure such temerity. Please, no. But yeah, other than like pulling the 3 adds apart from each other, really all you gotta watch out for is pretty standard danger puddles. Ones with pretty consistent warning signs, which I appreciate. From here on, the danger puddles are getting a lot more consistent across battles. Like, if there's a particular damaging attack in a boss fight that requires everyone in the group to stack together, that one, perfect, right on cue, they will use that symbol every time. So that even if you're doing a fight for the first time, you'll know, like, oh, I know what that means, and you'll run in. And these standard 4 puddles, they're like also nice and consistent. Bosses will still have their own unique gimmicks that you still need to learn, just to keep things fresh, so it's not just getting very stale fighting bosses with the same mechanics all the time. But I really appreciate the consistency given how many different dungeons and raids and boss fights there are in the game now. Just hundreds. You can't memorize all that nonsense. Your fate shall be throttled in serpent's coils. And now they split into their component parts. And I'm in Alliance A of this group, so I will stand over here where the big A is and help fight down you. Actually using some of my cooldowns even. Like a good machinist would have been doing this entire time. Fun, handy tip. Just to give away how badly I'm doing it at any given time. If you see both of these full, or either of these full and remaining full for a long time, I'm slacking on something. These are resources I should be spending. There are occasional times where I may not spend them right away for a good reason, but usually I'm just not paying enough attention. Or too busy trying to talk. Come, my children, there's mortal blood to spill. That sounds like ads. Yep, here come ads. Yeah, let's stand in this little safe spot here in the lane. Burn it down. There we go. This has all gone rather smoothly. I'm proud of us. Mostly proud of our very prepared crew, frankly. Whoop. Don't look at the eyeball. Never look at the eyeball. Face away. Or else we'd have been petrified. And that'd have been no good. Where are you going? Oh, geez. It's a lot of puddles. Whew. All right, now they'll rejoin, and we shall finish it. Yes! Well done, team. And that is the first wing of this raid done. And that is a good Steiner cosplay that Eos is doing over there. Very good, yep. Perfect. I love it. Thank you all, you did great. Thank you for accompanying me, all 23 of you. This was great fun, and I will see you all later. Afterward, I've got some story to get to. Buck me. I expected danger, but not a hell-spawned bleeding nightmare made flesh like that. Didn't stop you and your mates, though, did it? That's some crew you got there, no mistake. I agree, they are very good. Ooh, good find. Right then, let's have a look inside that dirty great coffer type thing. Someone tells me it's filled to the brim with booty. Don't look at me. I never moved a muscle. What in the seven hells is that bastard doing? This way! Swiftly now! Hello. Can anyone else see that talking cat over there? Bloody hells, this adventure's getting queerer by the minute. Still, I'd rather take my chances with a prattling puss than stay here. Get your things, mateys, we're leaving. But what about the loot? You can't spend it when you're dead. We either follow the furball or make friends with a spell-slinging Voidborn. Your choice. God damn it. How's an honest sky pirate meant to make a living? Run! The ship's breaking up. Is he trying to break her down? We should maybe not be in front of it, right? The Void Scent is attempting to initiate a dimensional displacement. But the gate, it cannot possibly be large enough for the entire ship. Queen's coffin. He takes it beyond our reach. Well, there don't seem to be much point hanging around here. Let's get back to solid ground. And here we are. I would be giving our curious cat friend here a Scottish accent if I were able. We'll just have to settle without. What kind of cat is that anyway? What was it doing on that ship? Long has it been since my paws have trodden aught but those cursed decks. Would that I had made landfall under better circumstances. Aye, it was a bit touch and go in places, I grant you, but here we all are, and with all our bits with our bits still attached. This calls for a foaming flagon of... Hold on. Ain't we missing someone? Didn't I tell you Todd to wait for us here? Never fear, we've been keeping the girl company. Who's talking? Oh, you. But enough about her. Did you see the cannon on that ship? As you know, my dear Leoford, I am not easily moved, but the sheer power on display set me all a-quiver. Well, I hope you're content to admire it from afar. That vessel ain't for the likes of you and me. Do not presume to measure me by your own limitations. Besides, I believe I've shown how resourceful I can be. Which brings me neatly to the point. You have in your possession a device capable of tracking the ghost ship. Hand it over, or your engineer will suffer the consequences. Perfect. A compass pointing the way to my just reward. A weapon like that belongs in the hands of one with the will to use it. Come, lads. Our business here's concluded. I'm sorry, Captain. They caught me off guard. You get a bang on your head or something? The man I know would never give in to scum like her without a fight. Unless... What did you do to the compass? Who, me? Not. Besides slipping a link pearl into its case and like. So long as Rodleia keeps it close, and you can be damn sure she will, we'll know exactly what them thieving bastards are planning. Anyone care to wager how long it'll take her to notice me little gift? That's very clever and all, but how are you proposing to stop her from getting her hands on that derelict and its great big cannon? I ain't worked that part out yet, but I expect it'll start with keeping us a close eye on the Talons. Before we get to any of that, though, I got some questions what need answering.
You wish to know more about the Void Ark? The ghost ship, as you call it?
The Void Ark. So that's its proper name. Aye, I'd like to hear whatever you'd care to tell us, Puss.
And I, for one, am curious to hear your stories. Ere we continue, however, I must insist that you address me by my proper name, Ketshi. I will not respond to Puss or Cat, and most decidedly not to Furball.
It's supposed to be pronounced Ketshi, by the way, or something similar. Again, Gaelic, Scottish Gaelic. The rule for Scottish Gaelic is just assume it's not pronounced how it looks. And good luck beyond that.
My tale begins long, long ago in the city of Mach, which once stood in the lands of Yafaim. The sorcerers of Mach were masters of destructive magics, and they brought that terrible power to bear against Amdapor and Nim in the War of the Magi. The titanic forces they unleashed, however, took a heavy toll upon the land, ultimately resulting in a colossal flood that drowned the realm of Eorzea, a catastrophe which my master, High Void Mage Cessair, if that's how that's pronounced, was wise enough to foresee.
Wait. Colossal flood? Are you talking about the 6th Umbral Calamity?
I suppose you would know it as such. Now, where was I? Ah, yes. When they learned of the fate that awaited them, the Magi began... Magi Magi? Let's go with that. The Magi Magi began construction of a gargantuan vessel that would bear their people to the skies and to safety. The operation of the Void Ark, as the ship came to be called, was entrusted to Cessair. Prior to that, of course, my master had been a prisoner in her own home, confined for her outspoken opposition to the war. So the Ark was meant to be a sanctuary? Then how did it come to be so... what happened to all the people? And where did all the Void Scent come from? By what power do you imagine such a massive craft remains aloft? The energy required to raise the Ark was siphoned from over 1,000 otherworldly servants sealed within the vessel. Advances in Magi sorcery were made for one reason and one reason only: cataclysmic destructive power. And the swiftest and most dangerous method of acquiring that power was through the enslavement of void-sent entities. So the creatures on the derelict, they broke free from your master's control? At the very heart of the Ark, the Void Mages had entombed a great ruler of the Void Scent. Skaha, I think, is what it's supposed to be. Something like that? The Shadow Queen. But in order to control so potent a prisoner, a mage of adamant will was required, and being Mach's preeminent sorcerer, Cessair was deemed best qualified. Were it otherwise, my master might never have been released from her own imprisonment. Yet, even with Cessair's peerless skill, the Shadow Queen could not long be subjugated. One after another, the lesser Void Scent awoke and ran rampant within the ship. In the end, Cessair and the 53 Void Mages aboard the Ark sacrificed their own life energies to return the fiends to their coffins, leaving me, a lowly familiar, to watch over a derelict prison.
If I remember me Umbral eras right, the stuff you just described happened more than 1,500 years past, which is a good while by anyone's measure. And since everything seemed to have been quiet on board your boat till just recently, I'm thinking something unusual must have happened to wake the inmates up. Am I warm?
One day, a void scent that had taken the shape of a bat flew into the ship. At first, it was little more than a nuisance that I brushed away, but the longer it remained on the Ark, the stronger it seemed to become. Eventually, I could not contend with its power, and it began shattering seal after seal. Ah, but you looked upon the true form of this fiend as he broke the chains holding the queen's coffin. I can only assume that he is one of Skaha's subjects, intent on bringing about her return.
Well, that explains that then, except for one small detail, namely where the queen's coffin went. After it fell out of the ship's belly, I'm assuming it didn't just disappear, right?
You recall the great rift that the Ark's cannon ripped in the sky? That was a void gate. Such a portal opens a temporary path through the void, allowing the ship to travel almost instantaneously from one location to another. The void scent, as you saw, only opened a gate large enough to displace the coffin. As for the coffin's destination, however, that is as much a mystery to me as it is to you. I beseech you, conquerors of the Ark, help me find the Queen's coffin, ere the wards binding Skaha are dispelled.
Smells to me like an adventure. And who knows what ancient Maki treasures we might stumble on along the way. Gods know they'll make a nice change from all them elegant tombstones we've been collecting. I will help you. I'm not risking me hide for the sake of the realm, you understand, but I'll be damned if I let either Rodlia or that bat-winged bastard take the freedom of the skies from me.
You care only for how you might be inconvenienced? If the Shadow Queen were to return, it would have dire consequences for this entire star.
Count your blessings, Furball. I said we'd help, didn't I? Before we go rushing off in search of that coffin, though, there's preparations to be made. You might as well get back to your usual heroic employment, Durmin. I'll let you know when it's time to round up your mates again. Sounds good. Sounds to me like we're calling it an episode, then. Which is good, I could use some tea. The time is nigh, my dear Talons. Soon we shall seize control of the ghost ship and all its power, and rule the skies from here to the ends of the world. They are way into it. And there we are. Raid 1/3 complete. And with that, yeah, I'm gonna go get myself some tea. Honestly, more challenging than the fights themselves is all the reading I have to do in one session for these raids, but we'll manage. We'll manage. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I will see you next time for the continuation of the Shadows of Mach raid series. Until then, do take care, all of you, and goodbye.